Fala pessoal, tudo bem? Sou Felipe Max, seja bem-vindo ao canal. Galera, tá eu aqui meio perdidão. Mas eu vou achar o caminho pra ir embora. Eu caí lá de cima, lá galera, então eu nem sei como que eu vou sair daqui. Ah, já achei já, o caminho daqui. Tem um lobinho aqui já. Tem nada demais, nada demais. Oi, tem um bichinho ali, ó. Moeda de Globin que é inspirada em cinzas mágicas. Ok, ok. Esse aqui é do mal, hein? Que é bravo. Pegou. Quebrou a defesa. Vamos moer agora.
Ready, go?
Aqui, caiu, ó. Caiu lá embaixo. De boa. Cara, eu vim aqui e saber que não é aqui o caminho, não. Isso que é chato. Ok, tô indo pra... Tô voltando, galera, mas antes de eu voltar por... Eu quero dar mais uma volta aqui. Cadê? Eu já fui já, galera. Deixa isso pra lá. Eu vou criar uma caçada agora. O que eu tô procurando? Ah, aqui não. Sei. Cara, eu achava que era por aqui que tinha um bicho, mano. Já peguei e já fui embora. Modo fotografia. Não consegue achar bom ângulo e boa iluminação para captura de tela? Usa o modo fotografia para criar imagens que vão impressionar seus amigos e seguidores. Que da hora. Que da hora. Ok, bora pro esconderijo. Mas faltou uma caçada. Duas caçadas.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Deixa eu só dar uma olhada aqui se é isso mesmo.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border.
Eu já te contei que quando fiz uma viagem às Ilhas do Oeste da Tormenta.
You mean the Iron Kingdom?
Você tá falando do Reino de Ferro? É assim que vocês chamam? Em mano inglês são os ferrísulas, o estreito que... Eu estava me aventurando pelas costas da Maquia quando vi luzes brilhantes e sombras escuras lá longe do mar. Imagine a minha decepção quando descobri que as luzes e sombras não eram fortes e funcionando alegremente, mas rochas tomadas pela praga. Mas pelo que eu vi sobre o povo local, trata quem é de fora. Talvez tenha sido até melhor. Eu vou lá de novo, vou pedir.
You mean the Iron Kingdom?
Também tô Reino de Ferro, é o estreito que se separa o continente e a têmpera. Então eu me aproximei para ver melhor. Mas as rochas tomadas pela praga vazando lava. Talvez tenha sido até melhor não poder dar uma lua aos nativos. Ah é, veja o quadro de caçada. Tá. Faltou ele. Logo após a foice, a estrada que conecta Dalimir e Mandíbula fica um desfiladeiro sem saída. Dalimir e a Mandíbula. E o rompedor dos mundos. Esse. Isso aqui é C, cara. Vai ser facinho. A tartaruga era B, mano. E o B, o carinha era A. Tá. Ok, o carinha já foi, então esse daqui é C, mano. Deve ser fácil. A estrada que conecta Dalimil à mandíbula. Fica um desfiladeiro sem saída. Fechou. E esse daqui é descoberto de gigante decaído das ruínas de Rosaria, que estávamos investigando. Ok.
How may I help you today, Clive? Kuka.
Kupka, achei que a morte daquele desgraçado mudaria as coisas. Mas quando fecho meus olhos, ainda ouço a voz do Jara. Ele sussurrando para a gente correr, chamando soldados para distrair eles. As palavras dele nos salvar, jamais vou esquecer isso. É como ele disse, palavras são imortais. E as dele vivem em mim. Elas mudaram minha vida e eu queria poder agradecer a ele desde então. Eu só não sei como, não sei as palavras certas. Queria que ele estivesse aqui para me ensinar.
Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Muitos dizem que querem mudar o mundo, mas poucos se esforçam para realmente mudá-lo. Você é uma inspiração para todos nós. Patrão anônimo. Ponto de habilidade 800, concha molusco e rosa do deserto. Legal. Bastante, hein?
All yours. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Tá, eu vou lá ver o que é o negócio do barco. E a gente vai pra caçada de novo. Ok. $2.351. Essas daqui as coisas do Ifrit aqui eu não uso muito, mano. 2.390, 2.525, 3.140. Esse aqui é louco demais, mano. Que arranca um dano da hora. Sem igual. Esse aqui também. Ok. Vamos pra cá agora. Vamos ver essa missão principal. E depois a gente já vai pra caçada. Ok.
Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
Nice to get out and about for once. Let's do it again sometime, eh?
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Fechou. Missão concluída. Caraca, deu bastante coisa.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Tá, eu vou falar com a Mid lá.
I went up to give.
Eu gosto dessa daqui. Essa daqui também acho legalzinho. E a da Fênix aqui eu upei, mas fico em dúvida se eu uso esse daqui ou se eu uso esse daqui. A daqui arranca mais no caso.
Breeze to the chocolate.
Pam, não é aqui.
Editor.
Em um lago morava uma rainha e 3 goblins, mas os goblins não obedeciam à rainha, então a rainha furiosa expulsou todos eles para a beira do lago, onde eles comeram lama até a boca ficar preta e começaram a implorar para voltar. Como a rainha era bondosa, deixaram-as voltar.
Reading books that don't have any.
I knew it was a good idea to have editors study alongside the children. It's really stoked their competitive spirit.
Livro de matemática, aqui é tipo uma escolinha. A Mid fica aqui. Vamos descer então, Mid. Vamos falar com ela.
Come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
Helena.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Quer aceitar, né?
Think Mid might need some help tidying up.
Ok, tamo nessa então e vamos nessa.
Workshop.
Aqui eu já fiz. Opa. Oh meu Deus do céu. Aqui. Ok. A gente vai pra lá perdida. Mas beleza, a gente tinha que tá aqui ainda. Eu vou voltar pra mandíbula, porque eu quero enfrentar. Eu quero ir pra caçada primeiro, galera. Depois a gente faz essa história. Ok. Aonde é esse daqui agora, cara? Parou já? Por quê?
Porque não tá indo.
Por que não tá indo?
Porque não tá indo. E quebrou. Ele tá apagando, não sei. Eu vou fazer a luz só.
Tenta. Eu vou pôr do play aqui, ó. Ok.
Another crystal.
Acho que eu tô chegando, galera. Onde ele tá? Acho que eu não vim pra cá.
Be safe.
Não vim pra cá, é. Achei. Grimalquinho.
Playtime for the pack, is it? Let me introduce you to mine.
E aí, vai descer agora? Não desceu nada. Agora você vai descer. Não desceu também. você vai descer.
And then there was one. Second. Torgal, kill. Nice try. Too slow. Nice try.
Ah, não acabou ainda. Quase 50 mil. Eu acabei com ele hoje. Não.
That wasn't too bad, was it, Torgal?
Ai, calma aí, galera. Então. Ai. Pronto, ele foi embora. Um a menos. Tá, e agora a gente... Oi, isso aqui não. Tá. Lago Leste, repouso de Marta. Que não é menos. Menos. Ruínas de Rosaria. Onde que... Onde que eu acho que pode ser, cara? O jogo não vai deixar eu voltar pro lado do fogo.
Come on.
Ele não vai deixar eu voltar pro portal da Fênix. Porque lá foi parte do jogo. É parte da história principal. A história principal lá acabou em si.
Thanks, girl.
É, pelo jeito. Porque. Tá, aqui não é. Suponho que não seja também aqui.
Let's go.
Tem mais ninguém aqui, ó. Ah, tem sim, ó. Estão aqui ainda.
I can walk from here.
What happened in Rosalith? I've got family there.
No use calling Ambrosia now.
É que a gente acostuma com o passarinho, parece que ele não anda mais. Ficamos tanto tempo sem, só andando em nós só, e agora não vai, mano, agora parece que acostumou.
Get him!
What survivors Brother Wade found in Rosalith were brought here.
Tá, tá. Aqui também não é. Vambora, velho. Vamos pra missão principal.
be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Ok. O pessoal aqui tá em conflito com os soldados do escudo negro, escudo preto, né? Eles estavam aqui perto, né? Teve uma missão aqui que estavam aqui do lado já. Estavam bem pertinho de atacar aqui.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Elogio. Acabou já. Nossa, 12 só. Nem lembrava mais desse tão pouco que dava. Ela já.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Ok. E será que é criatura? Não tô vendo ninguém.
Anybody home?
Não, você de novo.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Tá mais fraquinho, hein? Tá mais fraquinho que antes. Errei. Pegou. Acabou.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Ok, passamos então mais uma principal. Aí sim. Ouro de guerreiro e meteorito. Ok. E onde que a gente vai falar? De novo com a Mid. Bora pro esconderijo de novo. Acho que ela vai transformar esse esconderijo em um barco, hein? Certeza.
We're seeing troops amassing at every border.
No surprises there.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Mas já
Is
deu
everything we've
550?
received and everything promised?
Já. Poucos conseguiram amenizar o fardo carregado pelos amaldiçoados pelos cristais, mas para sobrevivermos à tempestade que virá, precisamos nos unir. Portador e irmão, como você nos mostrou, um amigo de encalce. Nossa, 2 meteoritos só.
Here you are. Best of luck out there,
Medalhão
Sid.
de alto clérigo. Dormitórios.
Think Mid might need some help.
If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him? See what he makes of it?
Right away.
Vamos lá falar com o Harpocrates. Bora lá. Esse cara aqui é um gênio, sabe tudo. Historiador.
Hippocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine? Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelus complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company, too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive. So, Clive, who will accompany you?
E agora? Muito que não. Há um tempo que eu não tô com a Jill, né? Vou com a Jill.
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list.
White chocobo eggs. Peppier, are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems... I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited. Effects for which they were so much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able...
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Tava longinho. Bora.
Oh, where's Jill?
Welcome, welcome. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. An excellent choice. And a fine, fine day to you.
Keep them pilchers nice and chilled. I won't have you spoiling another.
Peppio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Peppio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin in the... Fresh cuts! Come and get them before...
You haven't much, but you're free to look.
Alho.
Ah, yes. I hope it's to your liking.
Oi, don't touch anything.
Castanhas.
Go on. Take it.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Did you find everything?
Você comprou primeiro pra depois ir?
Yeah.
Deixa no carro.
Garlic and Peppio nuts. Perfect.
Deixa
Now
no...
all that remains is for hot
Deixa no
cockroaches
carro.
to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you... Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive. Well, I suppose we best be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew. How's work on the shielding progress?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing them. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious concoctions in my time.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course. Oh, and Clive, thank you. It was nice, just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Harpocrates. Well, I better go and give Mid the good news then.
Thanks to Sid.
Thank you, Clive.
The man who hurt your mother and
Not just
father.
from me, but from Kenneth,
I'm sure
too.
they're looking down.
Nossa, tem muita coisa pra comprar, galera. E é tudo caro, cara. Tudo caro. 40, 50 mil. Vamos avisar então a Mid sobre o que nós estávamos tramando, que a gente estava fazendo para melhorar tudo aqui. Ok, desculpe pela demora, Mid.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Harpocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat, a coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, Let's start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer.
Será que o cara já construiu já?
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way.
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Eu falei que ela ia fazer isso no esconderijo. Eu falei. Olha que da hora. Vai fazer um bagulho ser um barco, mano.
It's finished. It's finally finished.
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming.
A pai dela.
Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want it to be that. I don't want it to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Ok, agora saiu. E tem um sinalzinho de mais aqui, ó. Lembra o que é sinalzinho de mais, galera? Toda vez que sai um sinalzinho de mais aí, é porque tem alguma coisa boa para nós. Tipo, que vai alterar. Que vai alterar ou vai melhorar alguma coisa para nós na campanha.
Think you can help?
Então vamos no finalzinho de mais, depois a gente já desce lá na minha sala e vamos ver o que tem de disponível. Lá embaixo de novo? É algo pra poção de novo. Não é o quintal. Mas é lá embaixo. Será que é Camide? É Camide. Com a Helena. Não, Calvain.
Sid, reckon you might be just...
Let's hear it.
Conte-me mais, conte-me mais.
Lovely bit of kit, yes. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it will separate it. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be...
I imagine Ty could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like.
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mouth. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might... And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
If... I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but... Well... Fighting dirty great balls of flame ain't exactly my fault.
Alright.
Thank you, Coin.
Caçada, a gente vai pra caçada. Ok, aumentou lá o quadro de caçada. Eu poderia descer por aqui, poderia descer por aqui. Vou descer por aqui? Não vou descer por aqui. Eu vou descer por aqui. Por que eu vou descer por aqui? Porque eu já vou ver já a secundária que tá lá no meu depósito. Lá na minha salinha particular. Então bora. Oxe, chego perto, você para de trabalhar?
Back, are ya?
What do you want?
And?
Nada de bom.
Crystal too? You joking?
Tá. Qual que é o primeiro? Confidencial. Eu estava folheando os livros na caixa do Esconderijo a pedido de Oz e posso ter encontrado algo que talvez chame sua atenção. Talvez... Ou seja, venha imediatamente. Você sabe onde vou estar.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
O mau pressentimento. Clive, tem algo errado com seu cão. Quando você puder vir me visitar na tenda.
What could be wrong with Torgor? You see?
Ah, essa mano, vai falar que tá ficando ruim. O poder da pena. Obrigado por me ajudar a animar o Blackthorn naquele dia, mas acho que ele está daquele jeito de novo, a julgar pela cara dele ultimamente. Estou achando que talvez o problema não era só o couro. Será que tem os demônios rodeando a cabeça dele? Sei que você é um culpado, mas da próxima vez que estiver livre, talvez possa perguntar ao velho qual é o problema. Se realmente não for só forja.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Ok, agora eu ganhei um troféuzinho. Eu só quero ver o que é esse troféu. O poder da pena. Abra 10 cartas na mesa de leitura. Fechou. Ah, mano, o que será que aconteceu com o Torgal, hein? Nossa, ele tá ruimzinho, hein, mano?
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword.
Ok, eu já ia conversar com ela mesmo. Agora eu vou conversar sobre duas coisas.
I got your note.
You
think something's wrong with Torgal?
So you can read. Congratulations. But I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
Ok. Já conversei sobre o cachorro, agora vamos conversar sobre o...
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric.
Eu corto a garganta. Esse cara.
I appreciate the warning.
Ele é arrogante. As secundárias, galera, servem muito pra encher a história, muito. Algumas são feitas de qualquer jeito, mas a história que elas se baseiam não.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite, which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frost wolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frost wolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Obrigado. Obrigado. Vamos dar comida maior pro bichinho. Tá bom, pelo menos não tá ruim, né? Ok, agora a gente vai conversar aqui. Cara, tem um monte de secundário, 3 secundários pra fazer, legal. Vou aqui primeiro, vamos falar aqui, vamos ver o que é tão sério ali. É por isso que eu li. O outro pode estar escutando, melhor assim.
A little. Listen. I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly and it's maybe my fault. But sadly, that square turned out to be more of a... I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna need help keeping it from...
Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What?
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lender, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. You know, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs...
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well,
we owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million
each. 5 million. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of...
Those ledgers were my responsibility.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we can...
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the... Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents. A little something Sid and I set aside for... And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more...
I'm sure they will be.
Should be me, mate. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe and all.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really?
No. I don't.
Se ferrou, cara. Não, não acho. Amigão. Quer caçar a bomba Rex? Se quiser, tem um anúncio aqui que pode ser do seu interesse. Um bichinho de fogo, um bichinho de fogo. Ah, já enfrentei um desses já. A Moringá Sunbreak. A Moringa Sunbreak. E esse daqui, cara, onde será que é, hein? Onde será que é esse daqui, cara? O resto já foi tudo, né? Só falta esses dois aqui. Esse daqui é B, então vai ser fácil. E esse daqui é S. Bora. Será que deve ser, cara? Vamos lá. Onde que tá esses caras? Ignite da Limil. Onde que tá esses caras? Gavi, não é você?
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Meu, onde que tá esse daqui? Não. Tá, você tá aqui ainda. Mas tá junto com o bichinho aqui, cara. Você não tá aqui. Ah, tá sim, galera. É o... Ah, é, tá certo. É esse aqui mesmo. Viajando. É esse aqui mesmo. É, Sunbreak. Tum. Agora preciso falar com a dama aqui.
Did you hear?
The gates to heaven.
I want to see.
Oh
am I going to do without sweet water and oil of talc?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Gifts? Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the hideaway's debt with the veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the...
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching. Otto is lucky to have you. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway...
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm...
Tá. Eu acredito que seja do lado esquerdo.
Ready go? Fly, Ambrosia.
É caminho de Sunbreak. Eu acho. E é aqui que tem as ruínas aqui, ó, próximas. Pode ser por aqui. Vamos ver se é por aqui, né? Tem uns morceguinhos ali. Mas vocês gostam de querer enfrentar a gente, né? É louco. Não, não é por aqui, eu já tava aparecendo. É, vou ter que ler de novo lá, galera, que eu não lembro onde era não. Não lembro onde era aquela caçada. Dois e três, é, talvez seja aqui ou alguma coisa. Não, confesso que não prestei atenção.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a and though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have a bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat.
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have...
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement. And rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do. Gob will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Ok. Agora eu vou lá no... Vou atrás daquele bichinho agora. Aqui mesmo. Tá, depois eu vou lá em Dalimil, falar com o Gnak. Nível 19, galera. Nível 19 vai dar o que pra mim? 40 de experiência. Não que eu não queira lutar com eles, né? Mas... terminou outra hora aqui, não vai dar pra escapar. Não, não levanta não. É o bichinho ali que não tinha nada a ver com o negócio, veio. Obrigado, meu menino.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it would seem like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. Hungry, Torgal?
Olha, veio pra cima, meu bichão. Ah. Opa.
Now. Will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsman our thanks. You're just a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Ok. Volte para o esconderijo, volte para o esconderijo. Tudo volte para o esconderijo. Vai ficar só a caçada para depois, né? Vamos aqui primeiro. Albergue de Dalimil. Isso daqui é para falar com... Beleza, a gente vai aqui. Vamos falar com esse rapazão aqui. Ah, voltou a funcionar aqui.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
The Sendrate's fang is gone. The whole mother crystal gone. My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen. Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went.
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamal is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Onde é isso? Aonde? Ah, lá em cima. É lá em cima. Deserto Velcro. Bora, 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 bora. Nós estamos passando. Nós estamos passando. Tu, tu. Tu, 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 tu. Ah, não voa muito não, mas ela plana bem, ó. E ela plana rápido até. Não sei se eu quero enfrentar, não sei se compensa. Habilidades. O socão já ficou de boa.
We've got company. Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off.
Ô, no maguinho. Ah, acertou. Mas agora eu vou quebrar você. Agora você caiu, agora você vai passar raivinha. Tchau. Nossa, esse daqui é 10 mil. Sede de sangue preto.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamel.
Chegando.
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship. They believe no combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards. The very stone of which I spoke, far rarer among collectors than even the blade itself, and a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
Are there many other collectors out there?
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis. Lord Byron Rosfield. And is a perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Trust Uncle Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Ok. Vamos voltar pro esconderijo então? Vamos aqui. Vamos ver qual é de tudo aqui. Mas ainda falta as duas caçadas. Eu vou tentar fazer as duas caçadas. Primeiro vou vir aqui na Sharon.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, aye. I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Não acabou ainda, hein? E você?
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes. But not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I'll be working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
You'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
All right. I will.
Será que eu já tenho? Ok, esquema de Excalibur, um diagrama detalhado de passos para forjar uma espada do reino lendário. Que legal, hein? Nossa, a espada Excalibur, mano. Nossa, que da hora. Projeto Excalibur desbloqueado. Ixi, vai ter mais caçada.
Back, are ya? What's that for you, dear?
Rebolo, relampejo, forma-língua, Excalibur. Couro de irmão quem já tem. Aí falta brasa de bomba, lançamento bilicita. Nossa, tá faltando bilicita, cara. Esconderijo eu já tenho. Brasa de bomba deve ser aquela a bola de fogo que eu vou pra cima. Ah. Agora eu vou usar essa escada aqui, vou terminar a missão do cachorro, do lobo, do que seja, do Torgol.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him?
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought, but one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone, and while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one Eikon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the Eikons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
Acabou a missão. Mas é em mim, né? Se fosse nele.
He's building a ship.
Good. So Lady Karen accepted the...
Ah, about that. But she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my...
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can...
Oh, wonderful.
Ai, ai. Vai, eu volta. Ai, eu já uso o quadro, já não preciso voltar pra cá. Quer caçar bomba Rex? Se quiser, tamanho do anúncio que pode ser do seu interesse. Tá, bora. A Moringa Sunbreak. Honrou o caminho da perseguição imperial, tomou o caminho errado e foi para uma floresta próxima, onde encontrou ruínas de uma aeronave dos decaídos. Uma fera que aparentava ser grande, beleza. A Moringa Sunbreak. Ok. Irrompedor de mundos. Eu tô em falta de blicita, mano. Nossa. Antes de enfrentar o S, eu vou fazer a espada primeiro. Depois eu enfrento ele.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you like me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the hideaway's coffin, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you go asking...
Of course not. But one good turn. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it...
Acho que é a dama.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't... Right away!
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
Huh. I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... I forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall.
Isso aí foi quando ele achou o esconderijo.
But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Galera, vou ficando por aqui, muito obrigado, até a próxima. Então vai ficar as duas presas aí, as duas caçadas para depois. Até mais, valeu!